Yo, what's up, guys? It's Christian here with your host, Felix Miago. Welcome to another LTA show episode where we talk about all kinds of things. And now I'm acting out of character.
Hey, it's because you haven't done it in a while, so
Yeah.
that's why it doesn't seem as natural.
Yeah, definitely doesn't. I mean, I'm just a little caught off guard with all this landscape that we're looking at. I'm not really too. I just don't go out. I just don't go out a lot,
Yeah.
I don't go out when it comes to like nature, hiking and stuff.
This is the view that we're seeing. Beautiful.
It's very beautiful, no doubt about it. And when it's like one of these experiences that you don't go often, you really have a greater appreciation of life.
Mm-hmm.
You really just forget about like all the unnecessary stuff in life, the materialistic stuff. The money problems. And you just think, man, should I just let it all go? Which don't consider. I'm just joking, but just life is beautiful, man. Life is good.
Gives a nice tranquility vibe.
Yeah, you definitely could breathe better here. I was telling Felix earlier how I have asthma, and it feels like I don't even need an inhaler here. So that's cool.
Very nice. Very good first thoughts. Chilling here. It's very nice, vibrant. All right, let's talk about. We were talking about it before. What we were gonna discuss today's episode. We figured, let's go into a little bit of what the future holds. So, you will hear occasional background noise because we are sitting on a bench, but
it's expected,
It's expected. I mean, that's what makes it authentic.
I'm just laughing because when you were talking, the other dude was going so hard,
Yeah. It's all good.
Put it in the work,
All right, let's get to it. Let's talk about what you think. What do you think? First thoughts on what the future will look like. And keep in mind, these aren't actual facts or statistics or, this is just what we think. Some of it could be right, and this will be proof.
That'll be amazing.
Yes.
So, in terms of our nation or in terms of the whole world?
You can go with what you want to start with first.
We'll start with the nation.
The nation, okay. What do you think it's going to look like?
I feel like at this point we're experiencing this high climate of what you say, this division, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's gonna reach its peak at some point, to a point where the bubble's gonna pop, and then people are just gonna start to calm down like it was in the 2000s and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like right now people are, it's always it's me or him, it's us or them type of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point it's all gonna end. People are gonna be like, man, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be like, why don't we just have a beer and just get along? You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But aside from that, I feel like in terms of technology, I mean, we got Elon Musk. He's opening the Gigafactory in Texas, and that's for the car batteries, like the Cybertruck and stuff. So a lot of people are moving to Austin, Texas. There's gonna be more job opportunities. Houses pricing, the housing market's rising.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, for all those people that are already thinking about going to Texas, I feel like it's gotta be no point of going at this point, because it's gotta be Silicon Valley, I feel like the average house is gonna cost 1.5 mil, probably 2 mil at most. But I don't know, the future, I don't know. The future could tell that, so.
Now, would you say that, are you thinking Texas is going to be the next Silicon Valley? Or are you thinking eventually all the other states would have at least one well-known company kind of, move in there, and then it slowly kind of builds in a little community, or more more Silicon Valleys?
I was first thinking maybe they're all going to spread out, and this is going to cause a exodus in California, especially in the Bay Area, causing less density here, which I would be really happy about.
Yeah.
But I feel like what's going to happen first is people are going to move in Texas first. A lot of people from California, and it's going to be so overwhelmed with a lot of new companies and stuff, because there's less taxes. There's I don't know, they don't, I think they have virtually zero individual income tax, right? I think it's none at all compared to California. So a lot of people are going to be going there too. So it's not just companies, keep in mind. It's going to be actual individuals looking for a better livelihood over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like at some point, I'm not a political person, right? But this really...
It's okay if you want to mention it briefly.
Yeah, so, Silicon Valley tends to be a blue, area, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like a lot of things are going to change in Texas from red to blue. And then all those individual income taxes that are virtually none are going to start appearing over the years. and then Texas is going to eventually turn to what California is currently, and then people are going to start to look for the next best state. Like what's the next best thing? What other population is less dense in comparison to Texas and California? And I feel like, honestly, I don't know what the third state would be at this point, but I sure as hell do know that at some point Texas, like Austin, Dallas, what else? What other? Austin, Dallas, other major cities, they're just going to be overwhelmed at some point, So it won't be the same Texas that people know today. It's going to be really changed,
Yeah, like, I think it'd be interesting to see what the third state would be, like the next, kind of like Silicon Valley. It's definitely not New York, because New York is already, well known over there.
That's a loose cannon over there, that whole state, man.
I think it's honestly going to be somewhere near California and Texas. Personally, I think it might be Arizona, since it's like kind of in the middle. And I feel like with Arizona, like housing is pretty cheap over there. And there's some good schools out there. And I don't know, I feel like taxes aren't as bad over there.
Definitely. I feel like that or Nevada, right? Those two are pretty similar. They're both they're basically desert states, right? Pretty fucking hot. Really low cost when it comes to like housing and stuff. And like for the price that you pay, it's like mansions, It's basically what Texas is right now, but like I'm saying previously, it's all gonna come to an end really soon, So if you really want, if you guys are listening at this point, you guys really want a house in Texas, and you want your value to go up, man, right now is the best time, because with Elon going there, if that man can move Dogecoin up to I don't know how many percent, 1 trillion percent up, that man could sure as hell move the house market up. And that could either benefit you or that could either screw you over. Because just imagine you're like, I'm just going to move to Texas. It's going to be great. I'm going to buy a new house. Next thing you know, Elon makes a tweet. Housing market goes up. You're like, all right, well, tell me for the next best state.
Now, next question. So, with Elon introducing the Tesla, automatic car, electric car, do you think there's going to be houses that are going to be very energy reliant now? Like, I know, like, obviously, like, power is, a big one, and, like, occasional heating, but do you think, like, just overall, because, like, solar panels are still a thing, but, like, not many houses really want to get one, or it's, like, not even close to being the new norm?
No, not
Do you think it's going to eventually be to the point where every house will have solar panels and, like, automatic, like, kind of like, Alexa, like, turn on the lights,
like
next
that?
is going to be, like, open the door, and it's like, like, fill up the water automatically, like, those,
like
everything's, like, super high-tech.
Yeah, like a commodity that you have in your house now.
Yeah, and just, like, I don't know, what do you think?
I don't know, at CSM, right, College of San Mateo, we do have Solar City, right, which is by Tesla. So I feel like if they move or they add more headquarters down in Texas and other states, and they start showing like the incentives for like using electricity, like solar panels and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like people might be interested. The only thing that's holding people back at this point, it's like people are thinking they're going to save a lot of money, installing solar panels, but they forget, right? And they realize this when they're like consulting with like the guy who's going to give them an estimate, is that the solar panels themselves cost like a whole fortune, They cost way more than you're going to end up saving. So when you're looking into the solar panels, you got to look at it at the long term, like over the years. It's not going to be like instant, like, okay, I'm installing this, I'm saving money already just by installing it, boom, I'm already saving by like the next 2 years. No, it's like 3 generations worth of, families,
Yeah.
That's how it's going to be. So it's going to take probably, I'd say 30 years until it becomes like a natural addition to someone's house.
Do you think, like, like, I don't know if they still do it, but, like, I think in a museum, California, the Science Museum, whatever it was, they had, like, the bike where you can, like, when you pedal, it'll, like, go to a battery, so, like, you're kind of, like, charging it up.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, that'll be added now as a new feature for people that have those elliptical bikes?
Like for, for like runners and stuff like that?
Just like, like a nice way to like
a hamster, kind of like powering like a...
Kind of like, powering your own like stuff.
Yeah. The first thing I think about is like a hamster, like in those science fairs that just power up like a toaster or whatever the hell. But I don't know. I really feel like people are gonna be like, oh, that's a great idea, but I don't really see people actually, going out of the way and actually trying to work out. A lot of people.
Well, like people that already do work out.
Oh, like athletic people in general.
Like I feel like
Yeah.
that might be almost like a new feature, like an incentive to go green.
Yeah. If it fits with their lifestyle, then yeah, definitely, it could definitely work out. But I feel like that could just be like a last minute feature that's gonna be added. I feel like the most of like the energy is gonna come from like the sun's radiation and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could definitely see that. People are gonna be like thinking, "Oh, I'm actually like interacting with this thing that I bought."
Yeah.
And it's well worth the money. Maybe
Yeah.
they could. Maybe it's not gonna be like integrated with like your equipment, but it's gonna be something that let's say Solar City makes their own treadmill,
Mm-hmm.
and it's already like integrated or automatically. They just connect it and it's like, all right, you're ready to go. So, yeah, I could definitely see that. Because I feel like Big Five and stuff, they're all gonna go to they're all gonna hit rock bottom at some point, right?
Yeah, I feel like eventually some of the well-known stores that we know right now will eventually kind of like be like the Toys R Us. Like they've had that legacy, but they can't really keep up with all the other new competitors out there.
Oh no, didn't they open up? Yeah, Jeffrey's Toy Box, right? It's like a smaller version of Toy Store. Toys R Us. I almost said Toy Store. It's like a smaller version of Toys R Us, right?
Probably.
I think they opened one up in, where was it? Tanafran Mall, I think, San Bruno, California. So,
I've heard of the name. Don't remember the location though.
Maybe it's not it there, but I heard they did open one up because people were like, "Oh, why did you close it?"
Mm-hmm.
For like nostalgic reasons and stuff. But I don't know, man. I feel like definitely Big Five. And what was that one sports store that we had near Target? Sports Authority.
Sports Authority.
Yeah, that place went. That went away. What's the other place in Road City? Something Basement. Sports Basement.
Sports Basement.
Yeah, that's gonna go away at some point. All those things that we know. They're going to be at the convenience at our fingertips, It's going to be way more... Like, if you think it's bad right now, where people are just online, just ordering stuff, it's going to be way more common in the future,
So you think it's going to be, like, more heavily, like, Amazon stores, like, just all around?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be, like, their own, like, chain?
They're definitely going to take over, dude. No doubt about it. I think they're going to run, at this point, the whole corporate America at this point. Because don't they got that store in New York City where you just walk in?
I
forgot what the Amazon store, right? That's what they call it.
Yeah, where you don't have to go to a register. It's already charges it into your account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The moment you walk out.
Yeah.
So I feel like those things, man, like that big. They already got to figure it out. So I feel like if these big stores like Target and stuff. Well, you know what? I feel like Target and Costco, those are like the only stores that might last. But everyone else, right? Aside from Whole Foods and all that. I feel like they should be pretty scared because...
I think, to add on to it, I think probably like Best Buy and Walmart, I feel like those are eventually going to like be replaced with something else. Or if not, it'll probably be like Ross might be replaced or like TJ Maxx because not many people really go there.
Yeah.
At least people in our age don't really go there as much.
And it really sucks because, just going out and going to the store, it kind of releases like this dopamine in your brain because you're like interacting, with like the store. You're going out.
Yeah.
You're seeing other people. You're seeing other people buy stuff. You're buying stuff. And now we're not going to have that experience, It's kind of like a similar situation where I can compare it is how you go. Well, I personally go out to GameStop, right?
Yeah.
And I buy like a physical copy of like a game that I want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you take that away from me, and all I'm doing is buying digital, it's not the same. I'm not getting the same feeling, Like, these receptors in my brain is like, oh no, like I actually can't wait to like play the game and stuff. You don't have a box. You know how you would read like behind the cereal box and just read like all the details while you're eating a cereal. It's like kind of the same thing for a game. You're like reading behind it. You're just looking at all like the features included. You don't have that for digital. It's just pre-order and boom, you're downloading. Boom, that's it. You're playing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't give me the same award in my brain, if that makes sense. So, yeah, all those things, man, it's going to go away, especially these sports stores, man. No doubt about it.
Now, would you also say any social medias you think will probably die down or maybe some new feature or some new app will come out? You got any idea of what you think about it?
Well, at first, you would have told me this like 3 months ago or asked me this question. I would have said Facebook, but now that they're changing to like Metaverse, they're not going anywhere soon, man. They're definitely going to stay. They're really trying to keep people in this virtual world, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the new generation is just going to be so so immersed, to the point where they're not gonna want to actually go outside and stuff, which is kind of concerning. Look at what we're doing right now. We're at literally at like a big reserve park, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And people aren't gonna want to do that in the future, man. And that kind of terrifies me. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of scary because as much as we like to play out on our free time, it's not really technically a lifestyle. It's more of a hobby, right? I could even say the same thing for Twitch streamers, right? It's a hobby that they just happen to get paid for, But this right here, that's like you're basically living in these goggles 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And just the thought of that, I mean, what do they compare it to? Ready Player One?
Yeah.
I never watched that movie personally, but I mean, just the thought of that, Like, you're telling your son, like, hey, it's time to go. Like, oh, no, I'm going to stay right here. He has, like, this thing. His room is all dirty and nasty and all dark looking. And he's, like, in this world where it's, like, all bright and nice. He's in a mansion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Jesus Christ, do we really want that? Like, that means we're losing determination to, like, even work hard, like perseverance. We're going to lose all of that because we're here in Zuckerberg's world, And he's going to no doubt add like ads into it, he's gonna add like all this promotion. It's probably gonna make housing in this world actually valuable. I mean, just look at all the things we're looking at right now, like NFTs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably gonna make those virtual properties actually worth something that people would just buy. Rich people just like drop a rack or $1 million on. So there's just so much to unfold at this point. We don't even know what to expect. Probably something we haven't even imagined that he has in mind. So yeah.
Now, so we've covered housing, we've covered social media.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the money, or do you think food will change drastically, like any of those? Or like, I don't know, maybe more pets, or do you see something that's going to really change?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't even know where to begin. I feel like at some point, if we do go towards this route, like connecting to like the whole Metaverse thing, it might not even be the Metaverse. It might be some competitor that might come along the way, and they might do it better than Zuckerberg,
Mm-hmm.
But, applying it to the same concept, people might not want to go out and eat. They're going to probably just drink like those soy drinks and stuff, the ones that have protein. Just to get their nutrition, the ones that don't taste too good. Because all they're going to care about is just being in this world. So they're just going to want to take that drink real quick, and off we go to the world again, Drink another drink, off to the world. And when it comes to pets, I feel like people are going to have way more dogs at this point. I feel like, obviously, I think in America, maybe I'm too, how could I say this? Maybe I don't think the world doesn't revolve around us, right? But it's no doubt that America has had this long, favor to, like, domesticating dogs, and have them as, like, a family member and stuff. I think we were one of those, like, big nations who made it, like, a common thing,
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's going to start adapting to like other countries, Even third world countries are going to start looking at dogs like as like more than just like an animal, They're going to start looking at it as like a family member as well. So we're not there yet, I know people like to think that just because you're in America, everyone's like, oh, like dogs and this and that, but it's not the case.
Do you think dogs and cats will eventually be overrated? Like eventually, like maybe like snakes will be like the next norm.
Oh,
like
God.
You'll just see a lot of snake owners or fish owners, like any of, because like I feel like dogs and cats, like they've had their introduction a while back.
Oh yeah.
And now a lot of people, want a dog, they own a dog, but I feel like eventually at some point people are just gonna be like looking for something else.
I don't know. I feel like.
Do you think so?
I feel like fish has been a common thing in the early 2000s, right? I had my own fair share of fishes,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes to snakes, I feel like that's like a.
Or just like any other pet you can think of, like bird maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised if raccoons become a new pet, Have you seen those videos?
I have seen. I've seen one with a raccoon, and I've seen one with a skunk.
A skunk?
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. A skunk? Wait, what if that thing gets mad at you? It's just gonna spray at you and...
No, I heard there's like a procedure where they can just remove that, like...
It's like a little gas thing.
The little gas, yeah.
Gas chamber?
So
that sounds weird.
So they won't, like, stink up your room.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, well, in that case, that's pretty cool, I guess, but... Yeah, I feel like those things are gonna probably become, like, a more common thing. I feel like... Well, let me just add, like, something that might not be more common. It's like having chimps as a pet, right?
Yeah.
Because, have you heard that story of that one lady where she had, like, a chimp and
it ripped her face?
Her friend's face off?
Yeah, I remember that one. I heard that.
Yeah, just the thought of that's pretty terrifying, So, I don't think that's going to become a more... That's probably going to be more regular at this point. Because keep in mind, this chimp, let me just give you some backstory. It was domesticated, technically, since a baby. and I think it was like over 10 years old when this happened. Her chimp was basically depressed, right? Because like the husband of this lady passed away, so the chimp wasn't doing really a lot of things. He was not really like upbeat and stuff. So this lady, for some reason, she thought to give this animal Xanax or some antidepressant, which in humans sometimes shows like violent behavior out of it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't react well. So giving it to a monkey that's already naturally like that, it's kind of crazy. So she gave it to it, and one day she came home with her friend. Her friend was waving like a little Elmo plushie, whatever, and for some reason that just rubbed him the wrong way, and well, he ended up attacking her in her car, and her whole face got ripped off. I mean, that just terrifies me, dude. Like those little, like they're just thought of them being like smaller than you, but they just have this Neanderthal strength, It's just insane. So, I mean, I don't know. I never want to be near one, dude. Even if it's like a safari or whatever the hell, I don't want to be near it, dude. I'm sorry. Those things, don't underestimate them, dude.
Planet of the Apes movie or whatever that was.
Yeah, dude. Ever since I read that, or not read, but I heard about that story. Now looking at Planet of the Apes, it's I don't look at it the same way, man. Like it's honestly now more terrifying now thinking about it, Like just think about that. Like all of them in San Francisco just running around loose. They got AK-47s.
Oh my god.
You have to make to your best ability to make peace with them. That's just insane right there. But hey, maybe they could become more like. You think it's possible they could become more human-like, like more. You know what I mean? Like act more.
I think they could. I mean, because there was that famous monkey or chimp.
Coco, right?
Coco.
The sign language one, right?
That one was really interesting because they can understand human interaction and like express emotion too.
Yeah. Which
not many animals can do.
Definitely, yeah.
And they can learn almost just like we do. They have thumbs.
That's the scary part, though.
Feet, they have functioning limbs, almost like a human. And
I feel like orangutans are probably the closest when it comes to like human-like, behavior, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, just because like they're always like doing these things, going like this. It's like, dude, that's fucking insane. Like even though it's just like a simple little, gesture that they're doing. It's like,
yeah.
They're just like us, kind of in a way, So I don't know, man. That's definitely going backwards. But I don't know. I can't think of any other trend that's becoming more popular in the future. I don't know. What other animals do you think of?
I think.
I mean,
I think I could see like some sort of like red panda, or like some sort of like small, cute, maybe like a squirrel.
You think those could be like a red panda? You think that could be like imported over here? I guess a pet.
Might be either that or maybe squirrels or.
Squirrels. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I never thought of that, to be honest.
Like, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be definitely a small creature, small and cute, because that's what, that's how Hello Kitty was made, and that's definitely how like plushies of pandas, Panda Express, the logo, a lot of people.
It's like emotion attachment to it, right?
A lot of people like connect with the panda because it's very cute.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Sorry, I'm gonna stand up a bit.
You're good. Stretch a little bit.
Yeah. It's a wooden bench for you guys who don't know. So after a while, you do get a little bit numb. It feels like TV static is the only way I could explain it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The future has a lot to hold, man. We don't know what to expect. I'm pretty positive about it. It's like I said. I feel like right now we're in like the most divided moments in our lives, or in like lifetime. I feel like that bubble's about to pop sometime soon. And I always tell my friend this: we just gotta wait for it to reach its peak, and before you even know it, it'll be over. And I feel like people are gonna look back, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, that was stupid. Like, we could have been going along with each other this whole time, right?" So, yeah, pretty optimistic. I don't know, but how about you, Felix?
I think it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to what we got in stored. I mean, we've already, looking back at 10 years, like we don't have all these things that we have now. And
yeah, definitely.
Not many people thought of an electric car that would drive itself. Not many would.
I got a good question.
Huh?
You think the PS5 will still be in stock at this point?
I feel like consoles might be a little different because a lot of people are just getting into VRs now, and with the whole like Metaverse and NFTs, I feel like at some point VRs are gonna probably take over and become like the next console thing. because it's only just beginning its like prototype phase, kind of like like the 64.
Nintendo 64.
It's like when it first introduced, like it was only like for people that had the money.
Yeah, it was more luxury at the time.
And then
Definitely.
now eventually, like looking back, it's slowly become more affordable, and you can do so many things now with the Switch. You can play so many games. Like,
speaking of Switch,
at some point, I feel like it's gonna be replacing Nintendo, PS5, Xbox. It's gonna be the next competitor, the biggest one, probably.
Honestly, I don't care what it is. As long as there's a disc drive, then I'm pretty happy.
How do you put this in?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna try to force it. It's like, Christian, that's like the slot for like the memory. Or what are you doing?
It's probably gonna be. Like digital downloads.
Yeah, that's
rather
probably the
than
thing
discs.
I hate about like the future. Like, I'm down to like evolve and stuff, but like when it comes to like taking away like a disc drive, like for like new cars and stuff, it's like, dang, that car is nice, but it doesn't have a disc. So like, where am I gonna have my whole collection of CDs?
Yeah.
Like, I'm down to have a screen, but
it's gonna be like kind of like the record player. Like,
true.
like a lot of people really do like using it, but
I guess this is
not
my
many.
record player in a way, right?
Yeah, I feel like just not many would. Everyone would kind of move on, especially with like the generation behind us.
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
they're already like using Spotify. They're not using like MP3 players.
For sure.
All those music players that we had to go through.
I had the iPod Nano at the time. Not the. I got the one with the screen eventually, but the first one I got was just like the button one.
Yeah.
It was like a light blue. Man, it's crazy how we evolved, huh?
Yeah, we don't think about it until we like reflect on everything that's happened.
Yeah, and like my first phone, and honestly, having a phone, like a flip phone, was like a big privilege back in the day. My mom got the iPhone 3 when like the iPhone first came out, or whatever the hell it was called at the time. Mm-hmm. And she gave me her Motorola, and like the funny thing was that it was pink, so I was like so embarrassed about it. I was like, dang it, Mom, like, I really want this phone, but it's like, so she kind of gave me like a cover of like my favorite sports team to like cover it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, it was pretty cool at the time, because that was like the thing, like smartphones were just getting started. And, having a Motorola, you get to like open it and close it,
Yeah.
Kind of makes you look like a boss, in a way. So that's what I liked about it a lot. But maybe that'll come back. I know they're trying to do that with like Samsung, right? It's like a touchscreen, but like it opens up like a flip phone. So
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Maybe it'll become a thing again, man. Maybe it could like open up and then like extend like a regular phone as in terms of widths, But I don't know. We're getting there, man. I literally remember in 2014, I just graduated middle school, right? It was like the summer heading into high school, and I was looking at all the concepts that Samsung was announcing with like the foldable phones that are just barely releasing like 2 or 3 years ago, right? And I was like, dang, when that comes out, I really want it so bad. And now that they came out, I'm like, I don't really want it. Because we're in a point where we're just not really amazed. We're just so used to like technology at this point.
Yeah.
And if I would have been, seeing this phone actually releasing in 2014, I would have been like, Dad, like I'll give you my allowance. I'll
give you a leg.
I'll give you a kidney. Just I'll take over your job. I don't care. Just let me get that phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now it's like, I'm kind of content with my phone. Like as long as it's like smooth and that it does updates. I don't really care what phone I got at this point.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was a whole different story. It's like the new hot thing, Like iPhone has this new iOS coming up. Samsung has this new 12 megapixel back rear camera, front facing 6 megapixel. Yeah. Now it's like they all have practically the same thing. At the end of the day, it's just like your software. What do you prefer, iOS or Android? And I think they're both pretty good, but don't want to start a phone war and after this whole podcast. But
yeah,
I don't know. We're just numb at this point, I feel like we're too used to it. Unless, only way for us not to be used to it is if we just take like a halt with like innovation and stuff. It's like, what's the next best thing, Which I don't even know at this point. But yeah, what's your thoughts on it?
I think it'll be. Yeah, we're at a point where like we just are so used to everything that we're not even going to be surprised what's next. We will be at first, but then we just won't really be amused. So it's going to take a lot. It's going to be a lot more features needed to get somebody involved. Yeah, I don't know. That's really it. You want to close it out? 20 seconds left.
So yeah, just to sum it up, the future is bright. it's gonna get better. I already know it. I'm pretty optimistic about it. I think Felix could agree with me on that. But yeah, that was it. This was the LTA show. This is Christian, your guest as usual, and I'm here with your host Felix Miyago. And thank you for watching and listening to the LTA show. And I hope you guys have